With Glass receiving mass critic screenings and the review embargo being lifted a week before the film is widely released, I thought I'd weigh up the general consensus to let you know whether it's worth seeing next week. I'll also be discussing the box office predictions for the movie, which will signify whether this is set to resurrect M. Night's career or not. Now, as of this video, the film is currently sitting at 39% on Rotten Tomatoes, with the critics' consensus reading, Glass displays a few glimmers of M. Night Shyamalan at his twisty, world-bending best, but ultimately disappoints as the conclusion to the writer-director's long-gestating trilogy. Now personally, I disagree with this world-bending comment. The twists themselves are quite mundane by Shyamalan standards, and the film just feels, well, very middle of the road, which I found to be carrying a lot of goodwill from Unbreakable and Split, and merely capitalising on that rather than providing a worthy succession to it. Looking at Brandon Katz from The Observer, it's clear that I'm not alone in this opinion. He states, "The first half of Glass is a rush, a rousing payoff for fans who've been obsessing over this saga for nearly 2 decades. It's a treat to revisit David all these years later, touching to see him happily run a home security store with his son Joseph during the day and then feed rabid internet speculation over his alter ego's existence with his prowling nocturnal vigilantism." This showcases that Shyamalan is banking on nostalgia rather than truly taking the world into a brilliant brand new direction. This plot device is the best in the movie and is something that was pretty much established at the end of the first film, or at least hinted at enough for audiences to draw that conclusion. After waiting almost 20 years for a sequel to Unbreakable, a trilogy that was planned in the noughties, I found the film very underwhelming, with an ending that disappointed on a number of levels and was quite head-scratching overall, especially with the thematic positive note that they tried to end on that feels very rammed down the viewer's throat. Sam Adams of Slate said, "On a purely practical level, Glass is drawn out and disjointed, with disparate plot threads that seem dictated more by its star's availability than narrative cohesion. This highlights that perhaps it was wrong to force the Split universe to be one with the Unbreakable one, and tonally, these films feel quite jarring apart from one another, so together it's a mess, which I completely agree with. Split is a horror film, Unbreakable is an uplifting superhero origin, and to me, these two tones just don't mix to great effect." One of the handful of positive reviews comes from Christian Harloff of Schmo's Nose, who states, "A very well done movie. It comes down to whether or not you like the ending. A good movie with a disappointing payoff." Now, I disagree with this. I know people who have watched my ending explained video or have seen the ending of the film will already have their own opinions on it, but I struggle to really see how it was satisfying. Now, I'm not someone who needs everything to be tied up in a nice bow. My favourite films are The Thing, Infinity War, The Godfather and Empire Strikes Back, and all of them have dark, bitter endings. This, however, just felt like a misjudging of what the audience wanted, and it's difficult to imagine how anyone would have been hoping for an ending like this. Anyway, it's clear that opinions on the film are very mixed, so how is the film predicted to do with the emergence of negative reviews? Well, IMDb predicts that the film will generate 280 to 480 million worldwide, but this was based on a Rotten Tomatoes score of 65 to 80%. With it underperforming review-wise, I would imagine that it would have drastic effects on the box office. Going off the box office thread on Reddit, which was posted yesterday, current estimations rank it at 45 to 60 million first weekend. However, with a budget of 20 million, this is obviously a big success in terms of making back its money. I'm sure it's not the success that the studio were banking on in terms of the film name and considering the cast list, as well as the success of Split. But we will just have to see how it does next week when audiences attend the film. So, what are your thoughts on the reviews of Glass? Have you seen it and do you agree or disagree with them? Also, have these put you off going to see the film, and how do you think it will perform at the box office? Comment below and let me know, and if you enjoyed this video then please like it and check out my ending explained video on the film, which will be linked at the end. This is a channel for people who are mad into movies, so if that's the kind of thing you like, hit subscribe. Thanks again for taking the time to watch this. I've been Definition, you've been the best, and I'll see you next time. Take care, peace.